Sophie Cunningham didn't just speak up, she detonated a truth bomb inside the Indiana Fever locker room. In just a few words, she exposed something fans had only whispered about until now. The coaching in Indiana isn't just flawed, it's destructive. And the deeper you dig, the uglier it gets. A generational talent like Caitlin Clark is being suffocated by a system that seems designed to fail her. So what's really going on behind the scenes? And why does it feel like this entire franchise is spiraling out of control? Let's unravel the full story. Because once you hear what's happening, you might agree, Stephanie White has to go. It started with a single post-practice interview. Role player Sophie Cunningham didn't mince words. She said, "I think everyone saw we got some flow when Caitlin was hurt. Now we have to run a new offense when she's in there because she just brings that much to the game." Read that again. She's not throwing shade, she's exposing the fact that the team runs smoother when Clark isn't shackled by the current system. She's saying the offense should be tailored to Clark. But it is. Why? Because the one person responsible, Coach Stephanie White, is refusing to accept what's obvious to everyone else. And that comment from Sophie, that wasn't a mistake. That was a message. The problem goes beyond rotations. White has implemented a motion-heavy offense that slows the game to a crawl. That's the exact opposite of what made Clark a phenom in college and what made the Fever dangerous last year. Clark thrives in chaos, speed, and improvisation. She's a creator, but White's system neutralizes her biggest strengths. And here's the proof. In the team's recent meltdown against the Valkyries, White herself admitted the Fever only played well during 2 5-minute stretches. Guess what those stretches had in common? Caitlin had the ball. She ran the offense. She was the system. But instead of building on that, White keeps yanking the reins and fans are done being patient. Then there's the Ari McDonald situation. 3 weeks ago, McDonald wasn't even on a WNBA roster. Yet White gave her major minutes, 18 in the first half alone, while Caitlin Clark, the best passer in the league, stood off-ball watching. That's not just odd, it's infuriating. You have a once-in-a-generation floor general and you're taking the ball out of her hands. For a guard who wasn't even in the league a month ago, it doesn't look like strategy. It looks like sabotage, and the most alarming part, this isn't new. Stephanie White has a documented history of running off top talent. Back when she coached at Vanderbilt, several of her best players mysteriously left the program. At first, it seemed like bad luck. But now, it's starting to look like a pattern. New reports have resurfaced about her time there, how she clashed with stars, pushed them out, and prioritized control over chemistry. The same script is unfolding again, only this time the stakes are much higher. Because the player she's clashing with is Caitlin Clark, social media is in flames, Reddit threads are demanding White be fired, Twitter is full of clips exposing her decisions, X is flooded with fans calling out her coaching blunders. And now something even more serious has happened. A fan survey leaked from the Fever shows an overwhelming number of supporters are done. They've lost trust. Some say they'll stop watching, others say they'll boycott. Why? Because to these fans, Clark isn't just a player, they are Clark fans. She brought them to the game. And they'll leave if she's being held back. Let's be honest, Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's biggest draw. She boosted ratings, sold out arenas, brought mainstream attention the league hasn't seen in decades. She's not just a rookie. She's a brand, a movement, a one-woman revolution, and she's doing it all while being held back by a coach who seems hellbent on controlling her. Imagine what she could do with a coach who let her lead. Someone who leaned into her vision instead of fighting it. Someone like Sandy Brondello with the Liberty, who's built an entire offensive juggernaut around player freedom and chemistry. It's not a fantasy. It's a real option if Indiana doesn't act fast, so here we are. Indiana has a choice to make and fast. Do they stick with Stephanie White, a coach whose system has tanked momentum, alienated fans, and possibly burned a bridge with the WNBA's most valuable star, or do they admit the failure, cut the losses, and bring in someone who can unlock Clark's full potential? Because make no mistake, if Indiana won't do it, other teams are lining up. Teams that would gut their rosters just to build around her. Teams with championship systems already in place. And if Indiana chooses wrong, they don't just lose Caitlin Clark. They lose everything, the sold-out crowds, the surging merch sales, the national coverage, all gone. The team becomes irrelevant, the fan base evaporates, and the franchise, it becomes a cautionary tale of what happens when ego outweighs vision. This isn't just a coaching decision anymore. It's survival. Stephanie White's days in Indiana might be numbered. The players are speaking. The fans are revolting, and the clock is ticking, so what's it going to be? Indiana, do you back the system, or do you back the superstar? Let me know in the comments. Should Stephanie White be fired before it's too late? And if you want more exclusive breakdowns and real talk the mainstream won't touch, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because what's coming next, it's going to blow your mind.